Hi, my name is Lauren Chapman, and this is my PowerPoint entitled Black Girlhood Interrupted, taken from Thick and Other Essays. So, the main point that the author tries to drive home is that Black men treat situations of sensitive nature, such as sexual assault and domestic abuse, differently than most communities might. And this consists of situations such as victim blaming and questioning how the victim ended up in the situation in the first place. And this is important because it highlights how intersectionality plays into certain social issues, and it helps us create a larger conversation of how we can combat and treat these issues. So the main takeaways I got from this chapter were that the Black community responds, the way they respond creates bigger problems and it contributes to problems. These problems include misogynoir, not believing sexual assault victims, and the adultification of Black girls. The second takeaway, guys, is that the mistreatment of Black women has become generational and encouraged through the pervasive language and actions used by Black men. So, in the essay written by Lord, entitled Age, Race, Class, and Sex, Women Redefining Sex, the author discusses how a lot of the problems are because we see today in society because of generational gap. And the generational gap is when the younger generation does not check the older generation on the actions and language they use and does not question why does you use this language, where does it come from. And Cottom actually did the opposite of this in her essays by questioning the language. So that is an example of how to combat the generational gap. So, socialization. In the class, we learned that socialization is a lifelong process and a lot of things play into socialization. For example, Cottom was being laughed at during a party when she said she didn't want to watch a video of a girl being sexually assaulted, or radio personalities bragging about how they have taken advantage of girls before. And so the purpose of these artifacts are to reinforce misogynistic ideals in a patriarchal society. So by all these misogynistic actions listed on my PowerPoint, by not checking them or correcting them, young Black men and young Black boys are learning the same language that their parents and grandparents are using. It's creating a bigger problem, like I said earlier, with misogynoir and the mistreatment of Black women. Thank you, and here are my references.